of you set traps and it caught something? Now hear the next question. How many of you traps, it caught something and you didn't kill it? You just kept it. You make it into it wants to escape.
But you know it's not going anywhere. Am I correct? How do you feel when that is happening? You are happy. You're excited.
I set trap. It caught something. And the thing is alive. You bring it home. It is moving.
You tie it somewhere.
You go and eat. You go to school. You can even leave food for it. While you're in school, where will your mind be? This thing. When you come home, where do you go first? Is it alive? Am I correct? Is it still what? Is it alive? Brethren, at this point of Israel's life, at this point in their journey, they have been trapped. The question
is by what or by who?
Again, my theme is break camp and advance from offenses to kingdom exploits.
Before the book of the Deuteronomy
is the book of what? Numbers. In the book of Numbers, we begin to see Moses began to chronicle for us the incredible suffering he went through as a leader. One day came.
You know what he told God? Kill me now. It's enough. Because of who? Because of the devil? Because of his wife? Because of his friends? Because of who? The people that God had given him to lead. The responsibility he carried. All over, I want you to go home, please, after the convention, go home and do your own study of the book of Numbers. It is a catalog of one offense after the other. One offense after the other. One offense after the other. And the essence of those offenses was to reveal something to you and I today. You can be a great minister, a powerful preacher. There are two strongholds that will come to you. One is the one I'm going to talk today. I'm not going to talk about the second one. I won't even mention it. Alo mani jonze zudunia andrurete aziri mangani jonze dunia ko.
The one I'm going to deal with is offense.
Ejo maninga ejo zudunia re ejo kumurure.
If you cannot break the trap of offense,
Mi kadi ombeta ejo kumunir nire koko.
You cannot break camp.
Mi toni ango kozoko.
That trap
Ejo kumuru mi ombepeda
is the camp.
Erdi pari bani le mi makodare.
You didn't get it.
Ejo nde feeding mi
I said that trap
akini yo mi ombepeda
that has caught you
mi bipetida
is the what?
Erdi ado.
That's the camp.
Erdi pari le mi makore.
If you can't break from it,
Ikadi mi nyoenga so ale
if you
ne
can't
arisiko.
get out of it,
Ikadi fo ale ne arisiko.
you are not going anywhere.
Mingani mu pari azini yako.
You are just like that animal you caught
Mi di trotro anyapa mini bidarle.
and put in a rope
Mini di ombenia baka irle.
and play with it
Mi di avirisi.
for weeks.
Wiki
In
pepe.
fact, it can become your pet.
Sazin seredita anyapa mini ruoni ondrele.
It will never accomplish purpose.
Ngani di azi ivle riyeko.
It will never be free to enjoy life.
Ngani di ovudri walabe idri ini rinyazuko.
It is under your control.
Eridi mi pala giri mi di
It was not
temi.
created to be there.
Bo bani rovuzu dadi niku.
It was created to roam free
Bo beri ni onzuzu di
and
walabia.
go from where it is to as far as River Euphrates.
Muzure ingazu ni ovuria pere yi Euphrates ni realia dale.
But now,
Techurudo.
it can't go anywhere.
Etoni di mu pari azini yako.
It is trapped.
Ovudi ombezaru.
It is yoked.
Ba idi ombenia afati.
My assignment is two.
Azima vle di iri.
I want to alert every believer under the sound of my voice today
Maledi badria ipira yomani yori eripidi oru andru.
about the stronghold called offense.
Yo di oporu bani onve yo kumururi madria.
I just want to awaken you
Malelu eminga yondesi.
because you cannot change what you don't know is wrong.
Mi toni yomini ni onzi korio chako.
Many of us have grown up in a
Culture that has errors in it.
Amakaka uzo di yo abini yo onzini onvuzo alenia kakaudi malia.
Some of us were grown up in a religious system that has errors.
Amazi zodi yo dini ni malia yo wa reyo alenia.
We are in a
Government under the leadership of our President Yoweri Museveni, governed with a constitution that has errors in it.
Amadi suru ba ditepi yo Museveni ditesuni ovu pivinias tabe azita de malia yo onti ni vini ovuzo tiri malia.
And that's why there are lawmakers,
Tadi yo fepi azita sipi
there
yo
are judges,
bavini yo lipi
there
yo
are
ovuzo.
councils, lawyers.
Madi akwataragba pi parima kata di malia di yo ovuzo indiri.
Navigating the constitution
Di azita ma ale andri ba diteso alenia.
to make sure
Ndreso dini
that we remain governable.
dini amani yo ovuzo pani ditera dile.
Because
in the absence of the constitution.
constitution,
Adi sikwazi pari azita yo ovuzo yo
we
realia.
become ungovernable.
Amadi cha baba ni to diteko
So,
dile.
I want to just awaken you
Dini male di amenga
to this matter of offense
yo kumuniri me yo si.
and to let you see
Lezun rezumi mandre.
how throughout the Bible,
Dini Biblia lia sidria.
from Genesis to Revelation,
No zalia pere yo etezalia.
the scriptures is charged with the issue of offense.
Yo siza of gaditre yo kumuniri yo nzezuru
The
niarisi.
Bible is loaded with the matter of offense.
Biblia gaditre yo kumuniri madria.
Unfortunately,
Tedi yo drilionzi rudi.
we Christians,
Ama Christianiru.
we don't see it.
Amandre niko.
Why?
Adi yo siya.
Hear me.
Miringama.
How many of you, I know they may not be many, but I'll still ask the question. How many of you, you may have lived near a rubbish dump before? Or near a latrine? Where you live, there is a chamber. Every now and again, a wind will come and move from that side into your bedroom. Anybody like that? I'm not saying you are still there. You may have moved. But if you know the experience, just give me a wiper like this. Thank you. But you know that if you have stayed in that environment, after some time, you become desensitized to the smell. Your nose adjusts. Your senses connects. You no longer feel it. Only your visitors, when they come, they are doing like this. They have not said anything to you. All they are doing is like that. Can I have water? But you know what is going on. But you and them are not on the same level anymore. Because you have adjusted. Here we say we are used. Am I correct? We are used. It's not any problem again. We have overcome that kind of thing. That is what has happened to many of us sitting here. I'm not talking about people outside. We have become used to offense. We can live with it. It's not a problem. How many of you have said, I don't have problem with them. They are the one that have problem with me. Yeah? Raise your hand there. I don't have problem with them. I don't have problem with them. They are the one that have problem with me. So who has the problem? Me? I don't have problem. Why? Listen. When you realize they have problem with you, the very first time you realized it, it was a problem. That first time, it was a problem. But after some time, you began to say something to yourself. I can do without her. She's not the one feeding me. You're not the one paying me. You are not my God. I will make it without you. All those lies you are telling yourself are what made you become used. You became okay. It's not a problem. My sister, my brother, we have a problem. I will show you. My job is to just awaken you to the matter. And if God grants me help tomorrow to give you a little bit of a pathway to solution. I want you to realize, brothers and sisters, what I'm about to share with you this afternoon is not for everybody. Every time Jesus taught on offense, the Bible categorically stated it. He spoke to disciples. Only disciples of Christ can take this message. This is how you can test yourself. Whether you are really saved or you are by the door. In Matthew chapter 5, from chapter 5, 6, and 7. Matthew chapter 2, multimedia, give us Matthew chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. Earlier, I told you that every nation is governed with constitution. Any nation that has no constitution cannot be governed. As a matter of fact, if this government we are in, God forbid, is overthrown by another power, listen to me carefully. If this government of Uganda, for any reason, is attacked by a foreign force or a rebel force, and they overthrow this government, do you know the first thing they will do? They will annul the constitution. Am I correct? The very first thing. I'm not saying number two thing. The very first thing they will do is to make the constitution that was there before void. So that they can operate. Listen. I'm talking to you about offense. In Matthew chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, this is the constitution governing our kingdom. I want you to know Jesus did not come to find religion, Christianity. No. He came to establish a kingdom, not a religious organization. If you don't understand this, you are going to have a lot of problems dealing with religious denomination. Because here now, what are we? Are we Pentecostal or Penteconcord? What are we? Because they are Protestant here, they are Evangelicals, Baptists, Presbyterian, Baptist. This convention is not a religious gathering. Convention or ovuni diffuser dini nireko. I don't like people clapping. Just swallow it. So, in the constitution of our kingdom, our king, who we celebrated his birthday on 25th, when he began to establish his kingdom, this is what he did. Matthew chapter 5, from verse 1. Verse 1. I didn't go to verse 3. I'm not going there. Give me verse 1. And the Bible said, I'm going to read, and seeing the multitude. He, who is the he there? That's Jesus the King. He went up on a mountain. And when he was seated, his disciples came to him. When he saw a lot of people, he left them and began to climb the mountain. Imagine if you were there that day. Where is the man going? All of us are here. The man has left. He's coming. Where is he going? Everybody is asking, where is he going? Where is he going? But as he went, only a few people began to follow him. And by the time he got to the mountain, he looked round. He looked round. There were only 12 people there. So what was the multitude doing down there? What was the multitude doing down there? Listen. It is in that space with 12 men that our Lord Jesus gave them the instructions in Matthew 5, 6, and 7. Everything he said in these 3 chapters was not for everybody. He is talking to people that are partakers of the kingdom. So, please give me Matthew chapter 8 verse 1. Matthew 8 1. I'm just giving you preamble. And when he had come down from where? He came down from the mountain. He has finished teaching the people. He has finished teaching the disciples. When he came down, who was there down? So, there are 2 categories of people here. There are people we are going to take to the mountain to hear Jesus today. Council. There are people that will remain here and say, you people can go. You cannot sleep there. You cannot sleep there. We will be here. When you come back, you will meet us here. So, Jesus went, finished the deepest teaching a man can ever hear with his ears, and came down and met the crowd. And he still moved with them. Listen. At the threshold of Israel entering the land of promise, you may not have got it.
Where
we read in Deuteronomy chapter 3, God said to Moses, look east, look west, look north, look south. If it was you, that somebody told you to look like this, like this, like this, and like this. Every other, all those places these people are entering, but you will not enter. Will you not ask the person, so where am I now? You're not getting me now. Council said something. And I was here crying. There is a difference between inheritance and entering the kingdom. And yet, we have just read it now. We have read it black and white now. That Moses had entered the kingdom, but the inheritance failed him. What was promised to Abraham? What not Abraham.
Sorry.
Abraham and Abraham are two different people. That's another sermon. What God promised him when he did not know his left from his right, when he had not been tested with offense, what God promised him was the same thing he promised Moses. The day in Genesis chapter 14, Genesis chapter 13, Lot left Abraham. Do you remember the story? Help you to process what I'm teaching this afternoon. I want to awaken you to the reality of offense. The tests that God pushed Abraham into were all bordered on this word offense. Before I go to chapter 13, I'm just going to be explaining because I know many of you are Bible students, you will understand.
When Abraham heard what God has told him, because God had been speaking to him about it, when he finally agreed to go, when he arrived at the land of Canaan, when he arrived at the land of promise, what was there? Hunger. Genesis 12:8. Please, quickly. Multimedia, I need you to be speedy for me. I read. Genesis 12 verse 8. Or let me read from verse 6 for time's sake. And Abraham passed through the land
to the place west of Ai. There he built an altar and called upon the name of the Lord. Follow me. And Abraham journeyed, going still toward the south, has not reached. And verse 10, and there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went to Egypt to dwell there. How do you go to a land that God says is a blessed place
Mito mu angu mungu ni yo asindriza bere ali angondruya.
And when you got there,
Mini tariada,
there's no food.
Nyakayo.
First of all,
Okorisi.
I know, can I see married men here? Married men, wave your hand.
Meto agupi adealia di ndrera ya miagupi ni mi adealia du okura.
Not married boys, married men.
Ovuni karilio adealia di niko.
You see, the most difficult response you can give your wife
Mindre onvita kongolo community of your kumviler drido
to a question
zita
on any matter
zita yo tini madria
is I don't know.
Yo zuma ni nikore.
Where are we going to get school fees for the children? I don't know.
Amanga fizi su anzidri gwaya mani niko.
Abraham took Sarai.
Abraham do Sarai.
And other people followed them.
Bazini di bi mavuti.
And as they were going,
Eini Moria.
Sarah will ask him,
Sarai ziri.
where are we going?
Amamungwa.
I don't know.
Mani niko.
Let me ask you. You are laughing.
Malenge mizi emiguria.
If it was you,
Kate ovumi
that your husband is packing the luggage and load at home,
eridi muziko etraria
moving
baria
it in a trailer,
edi ba trailer alia
cancel, and you ask him,
mizidiri
darling,
manlele turla
where are we going?
amamungwaya.
Isn't this place we are okay?
Paria mane ovuzu di ovuni onyiruku ya.
I want you to remember
Male mi megadini.
the land of the Chaldees, the place where Abraham came from in Iraq.
Pari ba kaledini ni Ibrahimu ni ngazo aleni yangu Iraki ni malia
a city with walls.
Erindra akuwa mboba ni kalitozu
He
agili
is
atiri.
living a city with walls.
Eridi akuwa mbo kaliberiku.
And they asked him,
Teba zidivineri.
where are we going?
Amadidi mungwaya.
And he says,
Onvi.
I don't know how to tell you this thing.
Anidi yonde. Ozumidriko.
But honestly,
Ejo ada siriani.
from the depth of my heart,
Engazu asima nerema. Alianale.
I really,
Da.
I really don't know.
Manini da ko.
So, can you imagine the atmosphere
Mi to di oli hari ngone
from
arigara
day
ya.
one
Edozu du
of
okonasi.
the calling of the man you and I call our father?
Onveta di agupi amani mi be onve atama ni ruri ni
The commotion
Ejo dia chipi
problem
ejo waru dari.
between man and wife.
Agupi meselia okuberi.
Nobody knew.
Bazi ni niko.
You think they knew?
Mini gasiba
They
nira.
didn't know.
Niko.
If they knew,
Kandra nira.
people will not follow them.
Bangani ndravuti ni ribeko.
Do you follow a man and wife? They are quarreling on the road. They are arguing on the roadside and they are going, and then you say, let's go with them.
Mi to agupia wapi oku ini ribe giritie di mavuti bira ya yo.
Nobody knew
Bazi ni niko.
the intensity of problem Abraham was going through.
Yo kongolo koru Ibrahimu ni muzo aleni asiri.
Now he has arrived at the place.
Dine chadi angwazi ni aliabo.
He has built an altar.
Sidi alitari.
He is doing something nobody has ever done before.
Eridi yo azini bazini okudro
Oh,
yekuni
Jesus,
ye.
help me. He is
Yes,
doing
so like
something that
Komaza.
is new.
Eridi yo azi o didin
He
ye.
built an altar.
Sidi alitari.
He worshiped God on the altar.
O inzidi Mungu ni altari nde madria.
But where they were worshiping,
Ini Mungu inziria.
a question is going in his brain.
Zita zini di mu omir erinir malia.
It does not rain here.
Ozo dini yangu de alia diako.
And we have animals.
Ama ovudi anyepa ibe.
The grass is not green here.
Ase ovuni doa di
And this voice I'm hearing say this is the place.
I've
made a mistake.
Darling,
I know where we are going now. We are going to Egypt now. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you before. Because I didn't know. Now I know. Egypt. Whether it is Abram and Lot. Lot who broke Abram's family. And when that happened, Genesis chapter 13, this same thing that God told Moses was what he told Abram. Look to the north. Look to the south. East and west. I have given you everywhere. Brothers and sisters, it was that day after, oh Jesus, after Abraham passed the first test of offense. When he passed the first test of offense, he entered a place of promise. He failed it before in Egypt. When they asked him, who is this woman? No, it's just my sister. It's my sister. Are you interested in her? Oh, it's okay, no problem. No problem. He was afraid. Offense. And pain and fear go hand in glove. Follow me, all of you, please. So whether it is Abraham in Genesis chapter 13, he passed the test in chapter 13. He passed the test in chapter 14. In chapter 14, they came and told him, your son, your child, Lot, your son, they have taken him and they have captured everything he has. And Abraham mobilized his own army. If it was me. Jesus.
Yes,
if it was me. They came and told me that Lot, who took half of my people, weakened my strength, weakened my resources, and went away. And I was telling him, if thunder does not fire you, now the thunder has got him. And they have come to give me the news. What will I say? Hallelujah for the Lord God, omnipotent reigner. I would have told him that day, I told you I have a God. I told you my God will not fail me. Now you are seeing it. Is that not what we do? Oh, you said no. But you have prayed for someone to die by fire. Holy Ghost! Fire! Fire! Kill them by fire. Who are you praying for? Is it a demon? Or they told you your mother or your grandmother or your mother-in-law? Or your auntie, your uncle in the village? They are the ones responsible for your challenges.
Ba yo Dimitri di ba ejo mini mozo ale ne ase waru di ejo nde fepi ma.
Now pray for them. How do you pray? They will remove shoe first. So this one will not wear shoe to pray it. From now on, every day, just call the state house. They will credit your account.
President,
when will you be making the call? 7 in the morning. You call state house. People have not resumed there.
President,
Credit my account. But God told Abraham, I, the Almighty, I am your exceeding great reward. But what did he say? What will you give me? I don't have a child. Offense. In chapter 16, we see the offense go to another level. Because now they cannot take it anymore. 11 years after the promise, 11 years after waiting for the child, Sarah said to Abraham, you have tried. Me too. I've tried. Take this girl. Let her have a child. And I will take the child. Abraham said, are you sure? Don't tempt me with this kind of things. I know you are not serious. I know you don't mean it. Are you serious? You really mean it? Oh, you didn't read that in the Bible like that? Because if you read that place carefully, chapter 16 of Genesis, when Hagar became pregnant, affection shifted from Sarah to Hagar. You have not understood offense. Are you with me? And Sarah said to Abraham, you see, because I gave this girl into your hand, now I'm useless. I'm now useless. God judge you and myself. Let God judge for us. And what did Abraham say? I told you. I told you this day. I was on my own, you brought her. I was on myself, you brought her. Do with her anything you like. Women, listen. Men, listen. Don't let your wife get angry with somebody they suspect. I didn't say they know, they suspect. They are suspecting you with her. You see, you think you're a disciple. You think you carry anointing. Wait. May God not bring you into this part of testing. Our mother in the Lord, Sarah, when she handled a pregnant woman,
Erini di oku alebe di be
You
drifuria.
didn't understand me.
Fini yoman zen.
When she handled that girl
Sawa di erini zamba da
with
rebizurise.
the pregnancy she was carrying,
Mva erimalia da be.
the girl ran away.
Zamba de tedi yongua.
And she said, "God,
Kini mo.
you want to take my husband?
Ile mavile agupiri.
I don't want the child again.
Ale vini mva di dikako.
Carry the child and go."
Idu mva ndemu iripie.
It was in the wilderness.
Eridi angoroko realia.
God had to send an angel.
Mungu ngadi malaika tipe.
May God help you. I want to wake you up
Dini
on
Mungu
offense.
makomia
I'm still going
samale
somewhere.
minge yokumuni realia.
God sent an angel
Mungu ipe malaika mati.
to meet an offended girl,
Rifuzu zamba eyo kumuni
an
riberbe.
innocent girl.
Zamba di eyo ewa eyo
She
nipi
is a
kurbe.
gift. She was given to Abraham as a gift.
Eriovundra fezaru Abrahamu dri afa
She
fezaru.
had no say to herself.
Eyo nzeze erini ndra aleni ayo.
They have impregnated her.
Ba timba alenia.
Now they are punishing her.
Churudo edi panga feridi.
If it was you,
Tekate ovumi.
how will you feel
Mita mi ito mungoni.
with pregnancy?
Mva be alia.
Who treats a pregnant woman with pain and bitterness?
Adini oku mva be alia
Oh,
ri
let me
oto
tell you,
ofe.
it is
Ejo azoru
offense.
ri. Ejo
Offense.
asi azoni ri be.
Offense.
Eri kumuni. Yo
Offense.
kumuni ri.
Angels spoke to her
Malaika nze yo eribe.
and restored her back home.
Di rivile akua.
And you will think that that is the end of the story.
Amadi gada di pari. Adi konde ni dezuri.
She had to give birth to the child.
Eri ledi mba osi.
So let me ask you,
Maledi ngemizi.
if you were Abraham,
Ikovu Abramu.
what will your relationship with that boy be like?
Atemi seliam vande beringovu ngoni ya.
People used to think I'm not capable.
Ba idin rega kini metoni ko.
This is the proof of my ability.
Diridi yo echepi metorari.
Leave them. They can talk anything they like.
Echo yo tini leri yora.
That's my evidence.
Adi echepi madiri.
That evidence
Yonde echepi dari.
became a problem.
Etadi yo waruru.
And I'm going to stop here on Abraham and move to Jesus.
Madi mwasi die yo Abramu. Madi yeso. Amadi gatini opi.
That when Ishmael grew
Dini Ismail ni Zoria.
and became 14 years old,
Ni tare be mudrini su.
Sarah conceived
Sarah ngadi mvesu.
and gave birth
Osira.
in fulfillment of the promise of the Lord.
Erini ani fezu aziza opinirni yezu iparia.
But now,
Techurudo.
there's a problem.
Ejo ewaru indi.
Who is number one in this house?
Dini di esele okori ini ya jodi alia.
Who is the heir?
Dini dinga awurso dunia.
Who is the next in line?
Dini dinga ovuba.
Who will take
Ejo de
over?
balia namba aluni
Now,
niya.
these are small children.
Di anzi nyiri.
But the battle of who will take over has already started.
Te di diza dini dinga yonde dunia re dobo.
To the extent
Pere pari.
that one day,
Dini odualu.
Sarah said to Abraham,
Sarah ngadi yo Abramu di.
"Cast away," Jesus help me.
Idro.
The word that was used
Yo bandia yo sada reali.
is
Aliari.
the way you throw away feces,
Erdi trotro bani azakoza be
the way you
anverle.
throw away trash.
Erdi trotro mini gasia be anverle.
You know, I don't know anybody who has finished using toilet roll. Eh?
Mani ni ba zini ko di biko bi bani be ti desure ayu pebori.
You finish using it and then you still put it in your pocket.
Kade ayu debo micho sumi vile okoro aliara ya.
I know when I said it now, you did.
Mani yonde yore mi do didya.
That is the way Sarah was feeling.
Dadi giri Sara ni itomo.
When she was telling her husband
Erini yore agupi vile dri.
cast this woman away and her son. Throw them away like trash. They cannot stay in the same space with my son. And the Bible told us that the thing that she said pained Abraham in his heart. And she said, how can you say such a terrible thing? That night, God came, not angel. God came to Abraham that night. Listen to your wife. Cast this woman away. And the Bible told us the next morning, Abraham gave them bread and water. You people go. Our beginning of this faith is anchored on the opposition from offense. Whether you talk of Isaac and the offenses he battled with the Philistines, and the incredible offense he went through with his two twins, or you talk of Jacob, that one was the shining star of offense. He married two wives, two sisters, and they were competing with each other. Can you imagine if your name, your own name, your mother named you to shame your mother, your stepmother? Whenever they call your name, your stepmother will feel offended. You didn't get it. All the sons of Jacob were named out of offense. Let me say it in another way. The 12 tribes of Israel are pillars of offense. Each one of them. That is the journey you have entered. But some of us here, we don't know where offense is addressing us. Joseph is a typification of Jesus in Genesis. Just like Isaac. These two personalities carried incredible offense. And they overcame. Let me talk to you about Jesus. But before I do, I want to give you two definitions. If you are writing, you may need to write now. Okay. You may need to write now. What is offense? What is offense? A negative emotional state of mind arising from hurts, arising from pain, or displeasure, or disappointment, caused by words and actions of people. Let me say it again.
Ma le yo dika.
A negative emotional state of mind
Eri yo onzi engapi egata ma aliari.
Arising from pain or hurt,
Fupi yo asia zoni.
displeasure and disappointment.
Yo alupiko azini mini difuzu yo ewaruberi.
Caused by words or actions of people.
Fupi yo nzeza bai ni kan kuse yo yeza bai ni maliari. Malia.
But also of God.
Sawa zini sivini engasu munguvu.
Of
Satan.
Kan kuse setanivu.
And also of oneself.
Sa zini se engasu vini mivu.
So there are 4 players that can occur in offense.
Ba di sudini yo yepi yo kumuni kan kuse yo waru malia di.
People.
Bai.
Satan.
Setani
God.
Mungu
And the last is who?
Asizuri adi mi
Myself.
Ma
Offense is often triggered by a perceived attack.
Yo kumuni kan kuse yo waru di ridi cha paria ke ga yo azin ye mi ruaria.
Let me say it in another way.
Maler yo ti azin sevindo.
We feel offended
when
it appears our public image or honor is violated. So everywhere we will discuss offense, there are things you are going to see. You are going to see pain. You are going to see disappointment. You may see anger. You may see unforgiveness. You may see violence. You may see bitterness. You may see division. You may see resentment. Praise the Lord. All these things are products of offense. But each of these things represents a characteristic of stronghold.
Stronghold.
When I was younger in the faith, I used to think that stronghold is where demons stay. How many of you used to think like that? That's a stronghold. That's where demons stay. So those days I will go to those places I feel that demons are there. In the night, I begin to speak in tongues. I will be afraid. But I'll be speaking in tongues. I'll be speaking in tongues. Get all these demons out of me. When I grew older, I realized it's not like that.